Dana Birdneck, General Manager with the Central Wellington Chamber of Commerce. I'm here at the RBC in Fergus with Branch Manager Brian Price. Brian, thank you so much for chatting with me today.
No problem. Great to be here.
Great. We want to hear a little bit more about what you guys are doing. And Brian and I were originally supposed to film this segment back in March during National Fraud Prevention Month when COVID hit. So I want to hear a little bit about what RBC has been doing to pivot, or what have you done differently during COVID to protect our community?
Well, originally it started with some lockdown measures and protective things within the branch and such. And then from there, we created opportunities to teach our clients how to use the ATM better, how to use digital, because our branches hours had changed so much. Right. So we wanted to make sure that people could still do all their transactions that they needed to do, but not necessarily the way they used to do them. So we did a lot of education in terms of when COVID hit, for sure.
Excellent. What was the response like with your clients?
I mean, initially, we had some people who were very, very into it and just had never tried it before, so that was fine. And then there was some others who it took a little bit more, maybe pushing along, to get them to do it. But then once they tried it, they realized, it wasn't so hard after all. Yeah. And so it took a little. You had sort of both ends of the spectrum there, which was good for us as staff, because it challenged us in two different ways: the easy one and the little more difficult one. So, but now it's great for me to see when I look out to the ATM lobby, I'm seeing people using the ATM and not needing to come in. People who used to come in all the time. So not that we don't like to see them, but having them do their transactions on their terms is great.
That's a great success, and we all are doing business differently, so that's really important. Yeah. So good for you. Now, just going back to the frauds and scams, are you seeing any changes as a result of COVID, and what are your recommendations to help people either eliminate or reduce frauds and scams that are happening in our community? Yeah,
it's a tough one, and I hate having clients sitting across from my desk and having to tell them that whatever it is that happened, their money is gone. And I hate doing that because they've willingly done a transaction and they've accepted that. And so then, there's not much I can do at that point. But when people are coming into the branch, for instance, people are pulling out large amounts of cash, we are proactively going to ask them what it is you're doing with these funds. And it's not because we're trying to be mean or nosy or anything like that, but we want to know what is it you're doing, because depending on your answer, that may lead us to another question, which then we'll figure out, that's fraudulent activity. This doesn't sound right. You need to come and sit down and discuss this with me, the manager, let's figure this out. And if it's a legit transaction, it's no problem, but we just want to make sure to protect, because the scams, what they do is they put in a sense of urgency. Sometimes they may have a piece or two of information from something with your family, and so then they're now working on your emotions. So now they've got you not only in urgency, but on your emotions, and so then you're not always thinking straight, unfortunately. And so then it takes someone like myself or one of my staff, and even if not even necessarily the RBC, but at any financial institution, we're that outside voice, and we can kind of take a look at it, right? So definitely when large cash transactions are happening, we do that. If you have a check that's it's a little abnormal, we put a hold on that, because we're doing it to protect you, because we know who you are, but do you necessarily know where those funds are? Are those funds good? So we don't want you to be out money, based on that. So again, just discussing why it is you're having these funds. Are you expecting these funds? Things like that. One of the ones that they do a lot now is they're big on the phone. After COVID, everybody's home, right? Yeah. So now they're really hitting you on the phone. They will hit you in the morning, 7 a.m. Why? Because you're waking up, you're groggy, you're not thinking straight. Right. So they try to get you in the mornings, and so that's something to really be aware of. If someone's calling you on the phone, are you expecting this call? Does it make sense? Take a minute. I recently had a client who went to Walmart, bought $1,000 worth of Google cards, went to Zehrs, bought another $2,000. The people at the grocery store actually asked him great questions. They said, are you sure that this sounds odd? Oh no, and the fraudsters told him the answer. They said, say that it's your daughter's in town and that you're buying them for her for school. So the people at the grocery store and Walmart, they were like, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. But they feed you the answers. Right. So be mindful of when somebody on the other end of the phone is feeding you the answers. And if they say, if you go to the bank, don't tell them anything. Don't tell the bank. Yeah. Like, they're in on it. I've heard that before too. I had a fraudster on the phone once, and he said on the phone, don't listen to the manager. He's in on it. And I'm sitting right there listening to it going, this is crazy. So, you know, really being mindful of thinking about what the call is for. Is this call expected? You know, if it's a CRA, you know, Canada Revenue Agency, talking about your taxes and things like that, come in and talk to us and we can talk it through and figure it out. Go to your own bank, financial institution, talk it through. But we're trying to really be protective,
Right.
not punitive in these types of things.
That's really important. That education piece is so critical, and absolutely you're helping people protect from these types of activities.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah, and you know, another quick way to sometimes you'll get a call. I get the call too, early in the morning on a Sunday or Saturday, saying that my Visa has had some charges. You
Yes.
probably may have had that one too. Well, then a really quick thing to do is just at RBC you can go on your phone and you can lock the card. I'm sure other financial institutions have that too. So lock your card, then you know you're good. Then you can think about it rationally. You can go online, check, and see if there is actually any charges or not, rather than giving them your card number and giving them the number on the back, because now you've opened yourself up for more liability, right?
Yeah.
Being very careful again about what you click online. Pop-up ads
Yeah.
are not necessarily your friend.
Yeah.
So really being mindful of what it is you're clicking on. Never let anyone take control of your computer, ever, unless it's here locally. You take it to a shop and get them to do it. That's a couple other ones.
Good. Great advice. Well, I look forward to coming back during National Fraud Prevention
Yeah.
Month and doing this again,
Yeah.
for sure. Now, I would love to hear if you've got a chamber success story that you could share with us.
Yeah, so we recently, RBC championed the Canada United program, which was really supporting and sponsoring all local business. So that we did that in conjunction with you guys. You know, we
Yeah.
worked together on that one, and so it was really saying, let's get out and shop locally during the specific time frame to really support all our local folks, and I think it went off extremely well. It was not only here that went really well, but it was nationally
It was a
too.
national program.
Just to try and get people a little bit more aware of, hey, you've got some great shops here locally. You know, why not support them? They need our help right now. So I thought that was a great one. I'm sure you got great feedback at the chamber too.
We did, and the Small Business Relief grant that came out of that was funded by RBC was fantastic. $2 million in
Mhm.
funds available to businesses to help with the costs associated with COVID, like PPE and
Mhm.
just relaying out offices and facility space, things like
Mhm.
that. So congratulations to RBC, and we are
And-
happy to work with you.
Yeah,
with
and you
that.
know what? I enjoyed the drive-in awards this year. Normally they're
great.
somewhere else. The drive-in awards were fantastic when we were out there at the raceway. So again, that was a great one. And you know, we sponsored the Business of the Year, and we'll continue doing that each year for sure.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much, Brian. It's been just a pleasure to speak with you, and we'll look forward to coming back. And
Absolutely.
have a great day.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.